Great morning, you all. How are you all doing? Happy Monday. This is your girl, Shan. I hope and pray that you all had an amazing weekend. We did. We relaxed, we chilled, and things of that nature. However, I want to remind you all with our church announcements about our radio show on tonight. Now, thank you so much for everyone who has been supporting us when it came to our new series that we just launched last week on generational curses. Everybody talking about generational curses and breaking them, but are you really identifying and doing the work that you need to do in order to break those generational curses? So last week, we kind of gave like an overview or whatever of generational curses. However, this week we're going to start on the subtopics. And so tonight is I have no voice. I have no voice. This is what I'm going to say about this because I don't want to give too much of it away of what we'll be talking about on tonight. But ask yourself, if you really need to listen in tonight, how is your communication style? When it comes to communicating how you feel, and you may hear me say this again tonight, but when it comes to communicating how you feel, how is that done? Does it come out in anger, cussing, fussing, or do you just kind of retreat back and just kind of stay to yourself and keep it in? That's not healthy functioning. However, join us tonight, Marriage Mondays with the Kings, for our radio show at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on KRGN 98.5 FM, The Rock. You can go to our website, marriagemondayswiththekings.com, okay? You can go to our website, click on the Listen Here tab, and then that's the ways you can join. We will be live tonight. So if you want to join us live, and good morning to everybody that's coming in, but if you want to join us live, then join us on Marriage Mondays with the Kings Facebook page. So I suggest you go and like that page, or go and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Marriage Mondays with the Kings. We will be live at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time here in the great United States of America. So with that being said, I'm going to talk about a topic that's been on my heart that God actually gave me last year on this morning. Place the blame where the blame belongs, okay? Let me tell you something that irritates me, and I'm going to try to make it make sense. I cannot stand when individuals try to blame other people or a specific place when things are not going right in their life. I can't stand it. So I'm going to give you a good example. I remember when we were in the military, I had a friend who she had issues with her husband. I'm just going to be real, but she had issues with her husband. And every duty station that they went to, she would always blame the duty station and say, oh, it's just because we're here at this duty station. It's here because no, baby, it's not the duty station. It's your husband. You got an issue with your husband. It's not every state. I remember when me and my husband first got married, we were stationed in Germany. They gave us orders to Fort Hood. And anybody who has ever been to Fort Hood, and I'm not going to sit up here and, talk bad, talk down Fort Hood or whatever. Generally those who were at Fort Hood, their marriages didn't make it. But me and my husband vowed to work together for our marriage to work right here at Fort Hood. And as you can see, we're 23 years down. What I'm saying is it is not the place. It is the people. It is the person. And so when I was thinking about this morning, when I was praying and saying, you know what, God, please give me what to say to your people and whatever the case may be, God brought this to my, and I said, oh, God, I thank you. I thank you for mercy. What we will tend to do sometimes is we will blame other people for a thing when the blame should be placed on somebody else. Meaning, some of you all have issues with your wife, husbands, but the underlying issue wasn't really your wife, is maybe your ex-wife, or it may be your baby mama and something that they done before you even got with your wife. Vice versa, the same thing can happen. Women, we could do the same thing. What I look like punishing my husband for things that my baby daddy did. Some of us do that. So that's what I'm saying, and I'm trying to get at. We need to place the blame where it belongs. If we really desire to live in a healthy life, a healthy functioning lifestyle, if we really desire to live in a healthy marriage, guess what we got to do? Place the blame of things where they belong. So what that requires and what it takes is this. Sit back in a quiet place. Go somewhere. I don't care if you got to go park by the lake, and allow yourself to truly think. Allow yourself to truly feel emotions. And then get to the point to where you place the blame where it belongs. Ask yourself, where did this first start? Who did I first get mad at when it started? Because see, what we'll do is we do not resolve things with the individual who caused us harm, issue, made us feel a certain kind of way. We won't resolve the issue with them. No, what we'll do is we'll punish those around us who are actually trying to love us. Okay. Now, somebody just said ouch on this morning. So, we never like to leave out our singles or whatever. So I'm going to say for our singles, before you go into marriage, I would encourage you to start making it a practice to place the blame where the blame belongs. Those who are in your marriage, if your marriage is not functioning correctly, guess what? Place the blame where the blame belongs. Is it really your husband and your wife? Or is it your ex-wife? Your girlfriend, your ex-boyfriend, your ex-fiance, maybe it was your mama, your daddy. Some of y'all, and I'm gonna give this example, are in your marriage, let's say wives, for example, and it can go either way, to where your daddy treated you like a drill sergeant, like he was your drill sergeant. You couldn't go nowhere. He was always hovering over you, and whatever the case may be, guess what you did? You married somebody just like your daddy. But then you set up and you get mad at your husband that you married because you actually resent your daddy. So you have an attitude with your husband and you're really not giving your marriage a fair chance. Who am I talking to on this morning? Like I always say, don't tell your business. So when I was praying this morning, I said, God, use me, speak through me, allow whatever is said to be a blessing to your people. This is what God brought to my mind on this morning. How would we feel if God punished us for the sins of somebody else? I'm going to let you sit in there for just a minute. How would we feel if God punished us for the sins of someone else? So bottom line, what I'm saying is this. If you have not resolved issue from things of your past, whether it be in your childhood, whether it be in a previous relationship, before you allow your hind parts to step into a new marriage or a new relationship, make sure you've dealt with the old. Do not bring the old in the new. It is not fair. And this is what I hear people say, and it irritates me because when me and my husband used to argue, it would irritate me. So maybe Shan, would do something that would irritate my husband. Well, I don't know why it irritated him because he didn't tell me. But what it is and what's playing out in his mind, for example, is it was something that his ex-wife did that he didn't like. And so what I'm saying this morning will actually line up with tonight's generational curses. I have no voice. Because if you don't communicate to your husband or your wife, baby, can you please not do that? I don't like that because this is what my ex did and it really made me mad. Okay, so if you communicate that and your husband and your wife understand where you coming from and they still do it, then okay, then that's a problem. That's on your husband and your wife. But if you don't communicate to them, how are they supposed to know what your ex-spouse did? How are they supposed to know what your mama did, what your daddy did, or whatever the case may be? Because you never voiced it to them. They cannot read your mind, baby. They are not clairvoyant, okay? So make sure you use your words and effectively communicate with your husband and your wife. Do not punish them for what somebody else did in the past. Now, I'm talking to somebody on this morning. You sit up here and wonder why your marriage is still going through. And the reason why it's still going through is for things like this. So learn to place the blame where it belongs, okay? If you start sitting in a quiet place, right? And you get into your feelings and you touch some raw emotions that you buried away that you have not dealt with, go and get some help. Seek counseling. Seek pastoral counseling. Go and get you a counselor. Work with someone that can help you process those feelings. But it's very unfair to come into a relationship, to come into a marriage, and you are not giving that person that you are coming into the relationship or marriage with a clean slate. You are bringing in baggage from your last relationship. And what happens when y'all get into a disagreement, a heated moment of passion or argument? You start punishing them for something that somebody else did in your past. So learn how to place the belong. It is not the person that you with 9 times out of 10. Because if it is, let me say this piece, then it may be you that is the issue. Because what we'll do is sometimes we'll go marry somebody who have the same characteristics as the individual that we just got away from. we allow ourselves to be in that repeated cycle. So, not trying to be mean, but that may be you, okay? That may be on you. You still can't punish the person that you with if you don't effectively communicate and use your words. As we tell young children, learn how to use your words, use your voice in order to communicate. So I hope that this will be a blessing to somebody. I hope that instead of you telling me, oh, she don't know what she talking about and this, that, and the other, I do, because I've had to sit up and think about this. I'm only telling you things that I had to do. I would not punish my husband for something that the father of my child did that I had before my husband. That is wrong. So if your marriage is still going through, or if you're still battling in relationships, ask yourself if this is probably the reason why you are still having that battle, okay? So join us tonight for Marriage Mondays with the Kings. If you're listening, I want to ask this favor. I just want to know where you are listening from. So if you are listening in the great United States of America, just put the city where you're from. You don't have to put the city in the state. I mean, unless you want to. If you are listening from around the world, I know we often have people listening from Germany, Turkey, Africa, South America. Just put the country that you're listening from. And thank you so much for getting up with your girl. And, starting your day off with me and starting your week off with me. Join us tonight for Marriage Mondays with the Kings right here. You go to www.marriagemondayswiththekings.com, our website. Click on the Listen Here tab if you are outside of the great state of Texas, mainly Central Texas, right here near the Fort Hood area, if you are outside that area. If you are in the area, just go to your dial, 98.5 FM, and you can listen in. And then if you want to join us live and see our faces, then you can join us live, Marriage Mondays with the Kings Facebook page. So I suggest that you like that page, and then you can subscribe to our Marriage Mondays with the Kings YouTube channel. We will be live. So if you don't have Facebook, head on over to YouTube. We'll be live at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, where we will continue our series, Generational Curses. I have no voice. I want you all to leave your comments, your questions. If you can think of a generational curse, leave it, okay? So that way we can continue on with this series. We are not rushing through this series. Whatever it is that God tell us to talk about, that's what we're going to do. So your girl will not be back with you all next Monday, because when it's a federal holiday and people in the United States is off for a federal holiday such as Martin Luther King next Monday, we're off. So I will join you back in 2 weeks for whatever it is God places on my heart. Be a blessing and not a curse. God bless you, and blessings to you.